All right, everybody. We actually have something kind of easy. Hopefully we can pull this one off in a rather short video. But something that's been asked is how do we respawn our characters? Now you'll notice I've made some small changes to this space so we can kind of walk around a little bit more. So let's go ahead and spawn some people in and let's show you what we already have working. So here's our player, here's our second player. And if I was just to get a little bit of damage here, and then walk off. I've got a kill floor right now. And so you'll notice it snaps back to our first player. If I just hit start, my second player just goes right back in. In fact, his, looks like, I think it's a Manny. Yeah, I got a Manny. His health previously is still there. In fact, the points and everything are still there. And then if I have him get destroyed again, which is what the Z kill floor off the side does, all of his stuff stays the same. And so really all we got to do is some housekeeping. Also, one other issue is whenever our player here, our first player jumps off and they die, well, I don't really have a way to bring them back right now because I don't have anything hooked up for that. So all we have to do is just kind of do a little bit of housekeeping and taking care of a few things. And we're actually ready for a respawn. So let me go ahead and get a few things ready. What we're going to go ahead and pull up is the, let's see, we're going to need our player card. We'll need that. We're going to pretty much be in the graph for this. And then we're also going to need the, our third person character. We'll need to do a tiny bit of work in there. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to need to have is our player state controller. That's going to be for part of our resetting of everything. So let's go ahead and grab that. It's going to be under our couch co-op. Here's our player state controller. Okay, so let's go to our BP third person first, and we're going to start from there. So something we have going on right now in our, I'm sorry, there's our BP third person. Okay. And a couple things we're looking for. We've already got our game mode here, and we have a player state getting picked up right there. So what we need to be doing is checking for our damage. So let's see, currently our damage is up here. Checking for adjust health, goes through all this kind of stuff. We adjust our health here. We have the player change health. I can probably get rid of that print string because we're not really worried about that anymore. But one thing I am going to grab is I'm going to grab this game mode ref with the player index that's changing the health. I'm just going to do a control D on that. And then I'm going to drag it over here. All right, so I'm going to put it with the event tick that we have that is keeping track of a few things on our characters. And if I'm not using it yet, I had it set up for the, there we go, set world rotation and everything for the numbers that are over the characters' heads. So we're going to grab that. And what we're going to do with this is going to be one of the things that helps us reset our health. So I'm just going to pull these together right here, and what we'll need to do is just have this thing constantly checking, are we at 0 yet? So I'm going to go ahead and grab the health right here, and I'm going to get that, and we'll run this off a branch. Okay, now like I've said before, we don't necessarily want to use a tick all the time, but if it's only on our player characters and there's only 4 of them running ticks, then it's not such a bad deal. So we'll want to compare this, so we'll want to see if that's less than or equal to 0, and if it is, then what we're going to do, we'll go and pull this over here, is we're going to destroy our actor. Okay, we're going to just do destroy actor, and there's a cool little node that we can use, or yeah, it's an event. It's actually an event called event destroy. Okay, and so what this does, event destroyed, there we go. What that does is it recognizes that the player has been destroyed, and for some reason my mouse is acting a little bit nuts right now. So let me see if I can figure out what's going on there. I want to press in on it. No. Okay, so I got something weird going on with my mouse here. Not sure why. There we go. Now it's grabbing. Okay, good deal. As soon as it realizes that this character has been destroyed, it's going to say, hey, it's been destroyed. We need to do some things now. So we're going to have it reset our current health to 1, since that's our progress bar is based off a percentage. So we'll set it back to 100. And then the other thing we want to do is we want to reduce our player points back to 0. So the other thing we're going to do is we need to take a look at what we've got for our points. So we have BPI points right through here. It's checking to see if it's using that interface. If it is, then we're going to check with whatever touched us, which is what we got here from the other actor. And then we're going to apply those points here to award points. Okay, so under player state, we have award points. And the thing about award points is it's holding on to, let's see, let's go to award points here. It's holding on to a lot of the information for us. So it's keeping track of points right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new function, and we're going to call that one clear points. Okay, so this is something we're doing inside of our player state right now. So make sure you're there. And I'm just going to call this clear points. Okay, and what clear points is going to do is it's just going to take our points variable right here, and we're going to set it to 0. So we're going to grab that and set it. Okay, and then we also have to let the player card over here know that we're going to change that. So let's see, what that uses is going to be, or whenever we've used award points, it uses this when points updated thing right here, this event dispatcher. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that. I'm going to bring that in, the call right there, and we're going to hook this up, and our total points, we're going to run that into total points. And so this is setting it for whenever it respawns, it's going to be 0, and this is for the player card, so the player card updates. So this is for the player, for the character itself, and this is for the HUD. So let's go over to the player card real quick, and we're going to set up some stuff here. This is actually pretty easy. So the cool thing about this, since we use, that's player health, since we're using update points, which is coming from over here. So we have cast to the player state, then we're getting the reference, and then we're binding this event right here. That gives us this one right here, update points, which is what we're calling with that event. And what we'll be doing is resetting everything through here. So player state's doing all that. Let's go back to our BP third person character. Okay. And we're going to go back to this space right here. So when our character gets destroyed, whether they get killed by the kill floor, which is something that just destroys the character that's already set into the game, or they run out of health, then we're going to destroy the character here. Then it realizes it's destroyed. It's going to reset the health back to 100, and we're going to get the player state ref right there, and we're going to do clear points. There we go. And so that should take care of clearing everything as far as our points and our returning our health back to 100. So let's go ahead and give this a shot real quick. Just going to save everything, and let's see how we do. Okay, so everything's set up. I'm going to take a little bit of damage with my second player. Okay, and then I'm going to drop right off the edge because that kills us real quick. Okay, so look at that. Everything went back to 0. I want to hit start again. I'm back in. I'm going to collect a few coins. I'm going to go ahead and take some damage. In fact, I'm going to take all the damage so my character dies. And so everything snapped back to the original. I'm going to hit start. Now, one issue is that I'm not going back to press start on gamepad, and I'd like to have that. The other issue is when I do this with my first person player, let's see if we can get this to work. I'm going to take a little bit of damage. Okay. And then if I run them off the edge, they die. But I don't have anything for the keyboard to come back. So we got a couple things we need to fix. Let me go over to our input. I'm going to go into the content here, and I believe input is going to be under, yep, that's under a third person character. I'm going to go into the IMC here. We've already got join right here. So I really need to work on the the whole control structure. So right in here, I'm under IA join game. And what I want to do is I've got the special right, which is kind of like our start button. I'm going to add another one. This one's going to be the enter button. Okay, let me go ahead and get that. And essentially that's all we have to do. And we are ready to go with that. So I'll just go ahead and save it. And then we'll go back to our BP third person character. We're pretty good here, actually. Since we have the enter now, we can make this come back. So let's go ahead and let's just show that real fast. We drive him off the edge, and now that he's basically gone, I'm going to hit enter and he comes back. Okay, so now what we got to do is just work on our player card so that it will return the HUD back to gameplay start. Like just, hey, hit start if you want to come back in. So to do that, it's pretty simple, which is nice. What we're going to do is we're going to pick this up. Switcher is now going to be something we're going to be working with on both of these. So now that our character is not valid anymore, they've been destroyed, we're going to change the set active widget index. I'm just going to highlight it, do Control D for duplicate. As soon as it comes over here, we're going to change the switcher index to 0. Okay, there we go. And then we have a little bit of a delay coming off of here. Might be worthwhile to have the delay come off the widget index here too, where we change it back to 0. But let's go ahead and check it out. I don't know that we're necessarily going to need that delay hooked up here. So let's just see how everything's working. All right, so it's already started. Let's just drop off. Bam. Okay, so it did go back to press start on gamepad. I'm going to hit enter, and there we are. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of damage. I'm going to just bounce back and forth between these. Okay, and I'm going to get some points just to try it out. Okay, we just died. I'm going to hit enter again. Hey, we're all back. Everything is redone. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my second player. My second player can take damage now. We're going to just bounce back and forth between these. I'm going to pick up some coins so we can show that that's going to zero out as well. We hit start. Everything's back to the way it was. Okay, and this will work now for our first player, our second player, third player, fourth player, all of those. Okay, all right, that's how we can respawn our player, and that'll do it for now. Let's see, how long did this one take?